This is the stem stitch. If you're right-handed, you're going to work this stitch from left to right, and you're going to throw your thread below the line of work. So if I'm going to do a little line across here, I want my thread to be below the line. I'm going to go ahead a stitch length and then come back up, kind of midway between, and then I'm going to throw that thread below my line of stitching. Now I'm going to come up in the same hole as before, and I'm going to continue doing this down that line of stitching. It's going to create little diagonal lines like this. And if you come up in the same hole as the last stitch, your stitches will be really doubled up nicely, and you do try and get your stitches to be the same length. And you can curve this stitch. I'll curve it up a little bit to show you how that works. I like to hold my thread in place with my thumb, and that's why I like to throw my thread below the line of work. This is a stitch that you would use for red work, or for outlining, or for even embellishing any lines on your embroidery. It's a very traditional old stitch that people have used for a long time. So you can see that you can curve it, and just always make sure that your thread is thrown the same direction. You can work this by consistently throwing the thread above the line of work. You just have to be very consistent to make sure that while you're doing that same stitch, that it's always thrown the same way. And I like below the line just because your thumb can hold it. Above the line is a little bit harder, excuse me. To end the stitch, you are going to do just a little tiny bit of a shorter stitch. Come up in that same little hole, and then come down just a little bit ahead. And that is the stem stitch.